हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। किससे सुना रहा है अभी?
I cannot hear your voice.
You cannot hear my voice.
Prabhuji, I can hear.
You can hear, right?
Yes,
No,
Saroja Prabhu,
Prabhuji.
I can hear.
Is it very clear?
Still cannot hear.
It's very clear, Prabhu. Saroja Prabhu, अपना माइक चेक करिए स्पीकर.
No,
Let me see again.
can't hear your voice.
एक मिनट ना प्रभु जी.
प्रभु आपकी तरफ से ठीक है सर, क्योंकि if I can hear.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
No,
Can you hear Saroja Prabhu me? Can you hear me, Prabhu?
I cannot hear.
Let me
Let me call him. Let me call him.
Now I can. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. Can
Yes, I can hear now.
Okay.
Actually, it was by mistake. My volume was low.
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं प्रभु जी. But you can hear clearly now, right?
Yes.
So this is a lot better. Now I got ये क्या बोलते हैं उसको यार, अपना Bluetooth का earplugs है.
Awesome.
So hopefully it works.
Yes.
Somebody gave me another one, but we tried. It didn't work on my computer. It just didn't work. So we tried this one. It worked.
Okay.
So 8 o'clock हुआ प्रभु जी. We want to get
चलो करिए, please.
waiting for somebody.
We can start.
We can
Actually, today is a lot of devotees have Bhakti Riksha today.
Oh,
We forgot to equate that. I thought maybe they all will come here. But let's see. We'll try.
yeah, we'll see.
We are recording this anyway.
Very good.
Right.
Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesha Sarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada,
Jaya Jagadguru Shila Prabhupada,
Jaya
Jagadguru
Guru
Shila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya
Gurudeva
Deva
Jaya
Jaya Guru Deva
Guru Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Bol, Guru Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol
Gauranga Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Jai Gauranga.
Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Jai Gauranga,
Hari Bol,
Jai Gaur Premanande Hari
Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, everybody, for attending today's program. So we're going to start with japa. So if everybody can get your beads out. And we'll chant one round of japa. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhara, Shiva, Sadi Gaura, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Jai Shri Krishna.
So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Guruji.
So today we are talking about chapter number 8. Chapter number 8 is entitled Attaining the Supreme. So this chapter, leading from chapter 7, which spoke about how we should understand everything scientifically, that we should know that Krishna consciousness can be explained, God consciousness can be explained in a very scientific way at all levels, whether it is metaphysical level where the explanation is given based on sense objects, based on the senses, the mind, the intelligence, the false ego, like this. These are all material. So even from that material basis, God consciousness and Krishna consciousness can be explained. And I was saying yesterday how the Bhaktivedanta Institute actually creates equations, mathematical equations, physics equations, chemistry equations, biology equations to explain at this level Krishna consciousness and God consciousness. And of course at higher levels as well. And then higher than that is the spiritual level. So even at the spiritual level, God consciousness and Krishna consciousness can be explained. And of course it's easiest, most easily explained at the transcendental level, because there's hardly anybody who understands the transcendental level, because that deals with one's personal relationship with God. The transcendental level will deal with that. And hardly anybody has much information about God anyway, what to speak of their personal relationship. And this is what distinguishes the Hare Krishna movement from all other religious movements, that we are very much into talking about what is each one of us personal relationship. Who are we in Golok Vrindavan in actual fact, like that. So in chapter 8, Krishna is saying that it's a sign of sanity and wisdom if one takes some time to contemplate one's death. Now, what is one's death? One's death is the final exam in this world, but moving on to the next life, because death allows you to move on to the next life. Just like, for example, the end of today at midnight allows us to move on to the next day. So it might say it's the midnight of our life, like that. So contemplating that time when the day will change, and then what will I do tomorrow, is important in life. But people think that, that death, when you talk about death, it sort of disturbs their current life. They think we can't really live nicely if we're thinking about death. And amazingly, that in special festivals in Latin America, whenever they do festivals, they hang skulls in their houses to remind themselves, yeah, you can party, but remember that this is your final destination. Even yogis in India meditate on the banks of the Ganges, where open fire funerals are being conducted, so that they can see this is the final destination in this life. This is the midnight of everyone's life. Although most of us obviously would consider, it's a little morbid, it's a little, uncomfortable topic to contemplate death. It is nevertheless a real situation that nobody wants to experience, but everyone has to face. Now, of course, we say nobody wants to experience, but there are devotees who are very happy to face the experience. They don't want to face it, but they're happy to face it. The Bhagavad Gita outlines that there are 4 unavoidable predicaments in life. There are 4 big issues that are unavoidable: birth, death, old age, and disease. So sometimes we say birth, disease, old age, and death, because it comes in that sort of chronology. So we often forget the inevitability of death. And thus, in this chapter, entitled Attaining the Supreme, Krishna deals with this very subject. So in the first 5 verses, Arjuna has some doubts. And doubting is a function of intelligence, by the way. There is no question that intelligence, to have doubts means that you must have some intelligence. That's why you have doubts. And there's no point in Krishna sort of like saying to Arjuna, why are you asking so many questions after I've told you so many things? And sometimes that happens in our lives, that people think I'm asking too many questions, or somebody thinks you are asking too many questions, but there's no point in doing that. On the contrary, he encourages Arjuna to intelligently contemplate his answers and subsequently make his own decisions. So when you're going to be intelligently considering what is being said, and then you're going to make your own decisions, the doubts are the ones that you want to remove so that you can understand clearly. Doubts are, like you might say, it's like a cloud. It's confusion. And there's a saying in English that confusion precedes clarity. The clouds come before a clear day. The clouds get cleared by the sun and becomes a clear day, a fully sunny day like that with no clouds. So this chapter opens with Arjuna's doubts and questions on several spiritual concepts. And Krishna answers. There are 8 questions that he asks. He answers 7 of them immediately, and then he prepares to answer the final question. And the final question was, how can one attain spiritual destination at the time of death? The rest of the chapter is solely dedicated to answering this essential inquiry. Now, why is this inquiry so important? This inquiry is most important because if you want to be excited in this life and you have not achieved all the things that your heart desires to achieve, if you want to become a billionaire, you've not achieved billions of dollars. You want to become famous, you've not achieved fame like that. And basically, this world is a place of dukhalaya and asashvatam, meaning a place where there's constantly a lot of miseries. And asashvatam means things are unstable like that. So obviously, you look forward to the time when you can get past those miseries and get into a stable situation in your life like that. So this is why thinking about tomorrow is very important. We all do that, actually. Naturally, we all do that. Nobody thinks, okay, today is the last day, and then after this, it's going to get dark at midnight, and then everything's going to be dark for the rest of my life. No, we expect that the sun will rise tomorrow, the pinkish sunrise will start in the morning, and then the day will blossom. And you know, our real desire is, I want to really have a nice day tomorrow. You know, and we even say in English, a lot of times we say, have a nice day, you know, like that. So this is what we're talking about. In terms of the soul, this lifetime is like one day. Now, we might remember earlier on, well, actually, in this chapter, in this verse itself, actually, Krishna will describe that one day of Brahma is equal to our 8,640,000,000 years. Obviously, we don't live 8,640,000,000 years in one lifetime. In this lifetime, most of us, will live to 60 or 70. Some may live to 80 or 90, and some may go past 100. Very few of us may go past 100. But even if we say it's 100 years, you can't compare 100 years to 8,640,000,000 years. And yet Brahma contemplates his next day very nicely. And he's very excited in his life because what he's looking forward to the next day, just like we would be too. If we knew that tomorrow was going to bring us some amazing results, right? Then obviously we'll start feeling excited today. So this is why chapter 8 is very important, that this establishes this principle. What are we looking forward to after this life? And what we are looking forward to is going back to Krishna Loka, to going back to Goloka Vrindavan, because there amazing, amazing things happen. Just we describe that, and one day we will talk a little about that. What is happening in Goloka Vrindavan? We'll think, wow, that is so much nicer. That is so very much more nicer than what is happening here. Even the best of the best that's happening here in Swarga, not even here, but in Swarga, cannot compare to the Golok Vrindavan, what happens in Golok Vrindavan. How much power each living entity has. What amazing, amazing things happen there. I was just talking to somebody the other day because, there's a picture of Krishna sitting with a whole bunch of friends and enjoying a picnic like that. And some of them are in front of him, some of them are behind him, and some of them are to his left and to his right. And at the bottom in the title, in the explanation of that, it says that every one of those persons there was thinking that Krishna was sitting right in front of him and looking at him only and having a very intimate relationship right through that picnic, speaking in a language only those two could understand. Others, it's amazing in spiritual world how each living entity can speak to Krishna in a particular language only that living entity can understand and Krishna can understand. That's how intimate it gets. There is, of course, common language as well, but there's also this specific language. It's very amazing. So I was saying, but that's the same for every person too. Every person, when they're sitting with so many people around them, they can see Krishna in front of them, right? And, and have an intimate relationship. But they can also see each and every other person who's sitting in that area, no matter whether they're behind them, in front of them, to the right side, to the left side, as if they're sitting right in front of them and have an intimate relation with that person too. That's amazing. And you thought, wow, that is really great, man. Wow, what a great arrangement. Everybody has that capacity. I said, yes. And that's just one of the small things that you can do there. The amazing, amazing things that every person can do. And can you imagine? It's like in this life, we have energy and then we start losing some energy. We sort of grow in our energy, come to a plateau, and then we start losing energy, just like I'm doing. Getting older, so I'm losing energy, although I'm very excited about my next life. So in that sense, I'm very energized because of that. But otherwise, naturally, you sort of like lose energy, you see. Whereas there, nobody ever loses energy. It only gets more and more and more energy. Can you imagine that? That's like when we were very young, right? We would have more energy, and then we get more energy and more energy because we're growing that phase where things are going up. And therefore, they say that, that time of our life, everybody really has a nice time, and they look back to that life as something amazing that happened. Of course, the devotees know that there's something much better than that. So we don't so much look back like that. So then in the next 4 verses, Krishna arranges in such a way that, imagine, like, say, for example, you're watching a movie and somebody had just seen that movie, and they come to you and they say, you'll never guess what happened. And what do you say before they even finish the statement? You sort of interject and stop them. No, don't tell me what happened, because that'll spoil the whole movie. If you tell me what happened in the end, it spoils the whole movie. There's no point watching the movie. There's no excitement. There is no looking forward to what's going to happen. There's no, curiosity that's left for me. So knowing the end sort of like spoils the movie, like that. So similarly, for those engaged in worldly pursuits, hearing about and contemplating and accepting the end, death, like that, is not a very inspiring reflection. Simply spoils the movie of their life. And in the here and now, like that. So for the spiritualist, however, the end is not a depressing thought, since the concept for the spiritualist of life is that life has a much broader purpose and is eternal. So there are going to be many, many things that we'll be doing into the future. And even if their lives in this world, at least, they'll be a lot better. Remember, if you just come in touch with Krishna consciousness, come in touch with the devotee, even if you're not Krishna conscious, in your next life, you're going to have an amazing life. That's the power of every devotee. That's the power of contact with Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness and Krishna are non-different. So if you get in touch with Krishna consciousness, you're also touching Krishna. If you touch Krishna in any way, amazing, amazing things will happen in your next life. But for those of us, of course, who are more interested in not just being in this world, but moving on to the spiritual world, then it's just like hard to even imagine how great it will be. Like that. So Krishna explains how the thoughts a person has at death sums up their consciousness and aspirations cultivated throughout the life. So at the end, it'll all get summed up like that. Therefore, it is said that one's state of mind now is very important, because at the time of death, that state of mind is going to determine your next situation, the next situation. For those who remember, it says at death, then they reach the kingdom of God. So whatever we're thinking at death is going to determine our next life. So the idea is, why don't we start now the practice of always thinking about Krishna, never forgetting Krishna, like that. And particularly, he uses the word Krishna, which is very unusual. He talks about himself, and he says, try to remember me in my form as Krishna. That is going to give you the highest destination. That's going to give you the biggest results. Just like if I'm a businessman, if someone is a businessman, they want to make sure that they make the maximum profit from the business. That's the idea. They try to maximize the profit. Sometimes, of course, they overdo it, but here there is no overdoing. It's amazing maximum profit that we'll get. Or somebody who's working would like to get the best pay. Or if someone is playing a game, they want to get the best results, win by the best score, like that. So people want the best. Naturally, it's the soul's nature like that, to want the best. So here Krishna is saying, here's your process. Just stay in touch with, do whatever you have to do, but always think of me as you're doing it. Now you might say, how is that possible? Yeah, people do that all the time. If you go to business houses and you sit, you meet the boss or anybody, you see on their desk, they will have a photo of their wife or their son or their daughter, or their dog or their cat, because they love these persons, these personalities so much that they keep that in front of them. It inspires them because they love them so much. They're doing it for their pleasure. They want them to be happy. And so whatever they're doing, it reminds them, makes them feel happy that I'm doing it for this person like that. So if we always think of Krishna, we're doing it for Krishna. We're always thinking of, say, Bhagavad Gita or devotees. This is all non-different from Krishna. You're touching Krishna by these methods. So somehow or the other, remember Krishna. And if things go right, thank Krishna. Oh, thank you, Krishna. Okay, such nice. If things go wrong, thank you, Krishna. You allowed me to learn so that I can do better next time. Because the mistakes that we make, the failures that we have are like stepping stones to success. Sometimes the success doesn't come immediately. There are some stepping stones you have to stand on. Then finally you get there. You might remember in chapter 3, we spoke about being relentless, never giving up under any circumstance. So this is the nature of a very successful person. So then in the next 14 verses, Krishna talks about attaining the Supreme. That the entire world is like a temporary university specifically created to dispense the lessons. Everything is actually meant to learn something so that we can make some progress. When one becomes frustrated by the pursuits of this world, we realize that happiness lies in another realm. And slowly we realize, why is it not coming? Why is it always something is up? Just when everything looks right, something is up. It's still not making it perfectly, completely happy. Something missing, like that. So as spiritual beings, life is a complex world of matter. And it's a little incompatible because we're spiritual, and material and spiritual are not compatible, like oil and water. If you mix them, they're not compatible, so they'll always stay separate. You can, make them really agitate them, and they look like they become one, but sooner or later you'll see they separate. So while the material world is rubber stamped as constantly changing place of misery, dukhalaya sashvatam, the spiritual world is distinguished as being eternal and blissful. It's just the opposite. It's not temporary, it's not unstable, it's very stable and always blissful. And growing bliss, eternal bliss is always growing bliss, like that. That's why it's very scientific. There are many painstaking ways in which the different spiritualists conduct their lives in order to attain the supreme destination, because he talks about how, the yogis do such powerful austerities and, amazing things that they do. And if they succeed, which is not very likely because the processes of yoga are very, very complex, very deep. Except for bhakti yoga, all the other yoga systems are not so easy. You really have to concentrate, focus, and then in the yoga process, see Krishna after the yoga process. That's going to be very hard. It's not so easy. Most people do yoga simply for some type of physical benefit, mental benefit. But really, yoga's purpose is to also give spiritual benefit and transcendental benefit, like that. So then Krishna says, but if you do succeed by these processes, you never return back to this temporary realm again, because then you become successful and you go to the spiritual world. And then, of course, he zones in on devotion in the last 6 verses. He says that since these various spiritual practices are discussed in this chapter, Krishna concludes by outlining the most effective process to attain the Supreme, and that is Bhakti Yoga, the path of active service to God in the mood of devotion. Whatever we do, we're actively serving God, mood of devotion. Yes, the fruits can be enjoyed by many people, like if, we are, say, grihasthas, and then we go and earn some money. Yes, the family can enjoy the fruits and we can enjoy the fruits. But we should always understand that the only reason we're doing whatever we're doing is not so that we have these fruits, but because we want to please Krishna. And in pleasing Krishna, the fruits are going to be bigger. They're going to be much better fruits because everything is designed like that, perfectly designed like that. And then this is then defined by Krishna, designed by Krishna, or spoken of by Krishna as the topmost spiritual path. And he should know because he's the origin of everything. So he should know. And he explains that in this chapter, that we should understand that Krishna is all in all. He is the smartest, he is the greatest, he is the most powerful, he is the control of everything. Every minute thing that happens in this creation is controlled by him. There's nothing that he cannot do, and there's everything that he can do. And that if all of us get together in this material world and do things to the best of our ability, like I always say, everything that we do, a drop in the ocean compared to the ocean of what Krishna can do easily, not even thinking about it. The tip of his hair can take care of all those things, what to speak of himself. Any part of his body can take care of far more than all of us put together can take care of. So this is why, Krishna consciousness is very important. So then Krishna says that when one should have this active service and mood of devotion. The mood should be like that. And that in the age of rampant materialism and temptation, coupled with individual weakness that we have and lack of spiritual aspiration, we don't really want to become nice devotees. A highly practical and powerful spiritual process is required. Krishna knows that. Kali Yuga, it's going to be very hard. People are going to be very distracted. They're not going to be very intelligent. They're not going to listen very nicely. So he gives a process that's going to be very practical and very powerful, like that. And so this is called Bhakti Yoga. Through Bhakti Yoga, anyone can experience an incredibly fulfilling spiritual connection in a very short time. Actually, at one point, Krishna even says you can do it within a moment. If you have that strong sincerity, and desire and love for wanting to fulfill this love for Krishna, like that, even a moment one can become fully Krishna conscious, like that. But generally, Prabhupada says it takes about 30 to 40 years. Now, of course, some of us started a little later, so 30, 40 years may not be possible. Krishna knows that. He knows everything. He is the Father. He knows everything. And even if you start late, there's a wonderful example of one of our devotees who started late. Yeah, and he was quite old. He was older than I am now, I probably would say he was probably, I think any of us on this screen right now that I know of would probably not be as old as he was at the time when he decided to become Krishna conscious. And so, but he was very sincere. So then he was able to get a spiritual master, and the spiritual master gave him initiation in a very short period of time, knowing that he was not going to survive very long. He was like almost on his deathbed when he decided to become Krishna's devotee. And he got his initiation. After initiation, left his body. It's amazing. And Krishna gave him the opportunity right at the end of life. Now, of course, we shouldn't try to put it off till the end of life. He didn't know much about it at the time. But as soon as he came to know about it, he sort of found out. So, at some point in our life, so a light bulb goes off and he says, oh man, come on, I should really do this. So that light bulb moment is very important. And after that, be sincere. Internally, remember I said, internally, antarnishtha. Internally become very sincere, fixed. Externally, you still got to deal with so many things, so you can't be so fixed up and you can't look so sincere like that. People may say, well, you're cheating, you're still drinking some wine here. You're doing some other things that you should not be doing. That type of stuff. But remember, Krishna we can see that, past habits are there. So it's just like the fan is oscillating full speed. Turn the switch off, the fan comes down to a halt slowly. It doesn't automatically, immediately stop the next moment. So Krishna knows that the fan is, and that's why I say to people, at least 5-year cycles. Look at yourself in 5-year cycles and think, am I doing better in every 5-year cycle like that? Because some of us are older, so the cycle might be a year cycle or 6-month cycle like that. So then Krishna is saying that if one is thus able to saturate the consciousness, what we're doing is saturating our consciousness in God. Just like, take a cloth and you saturate it with certain type of a dye, then it turns to that color of the dye, you see it like that. And then, so basically, then we'll be sure, we do that process, we'll be sure to attain the supreme destination, regardless of all the technicalities and intricacies that other spiritual processes may stress. And this is where the confusion generally arises with a lot of people. Because they hear of other processes that are very, very intricate and a lot of technicalities in them. And so they think, must be like that. It's like, if I don't work like a donkey, that means I'm not working hard. Whereas the truth remains that we're not donkeys, we're human beings. Working like a human being is a lot smarter way to do things than how donkeys work, like that. But anyway, because of our previous schooling like that, and understanding, speaking to people, hearing things, reading things, doesn't go away. That idea doesn't go away. This is a very beautiful process, very simple process. Basically all we have to do is, there are 5 things we do here that allows this process to become fully successful. And the first is to make sure that we come in association with devotees who are sincerely practicing, because just their blessing will be enough for us. That's all. What we need is their blessing. It'll take care of a lot of things, as we can see in the case of Narada Muni. Narada Muni was the son of a maidservant, but he served the Bhaktivedantas at that time, there were some devotees who were being served by his mother, who she happened to be a maid, who was, cleaning the pots and helping with the katab and this, that, and the other, like that. So doing menial work, and he happened to be the son of that maid. So he happened to be there, and he met with these people, and they blessed him. As a result, he became Narada Muni. The past, present, and future most powerful devotee in creation is Narada Muni. He meets somebody, that person immediately becomes God conscious. Valmiki is a good example, right? Valmiki was such a sinner. I mean, we can't even imagine the sins he committed. He couldn't even take the name of Ram. Yesterday was Ram Navami. This story was a nice story I could have told. But Narada Muni is very smart because he liked to kill animals and kill people like that. So Mara is very important for him. Mara, the word Mara. He could say very few, but not Ram. So he said, okay, you just repeat Mara, 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 Mara. So the Rama, Rama, Rama came in the Rama, Rama, Rama. So smart, he got him to take the holy names of God, holy name of Krishna, holy name of Radharani, the holy name of Lord Rama. And he became such a nice person that he predicted the appearance of Lord Ram. He wrote the Ramayana before Lord Ram came. And that's amazing, to write something about God before he comes. Whoa, we can't even write something about ourselves before we come. Now we're already alive. Can we write tomorrow exactly what we're going to be doing just for tomorrow and see if all of it comes true? We'll see it's not possible. He wrote the whole life of Lord Ram and all the people in that drama in Ram Leela, like that Ramayana. Amazing, Valmiki Ramayana. So you can see how powerful this person is just by contact of devotees. And then, of course, doing japa, chanting. A good example is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was born in a Mohammedan family. Mohammedans are not so much into Vedic understanding. They're very opposed to Vedic understanding. But because he liked to chant the holy name of God, he became so powerful. He became the Acharya of the holy name. Maya, who is like, nobody can defeat Maya. Everybody in the world put together cannot defeat Maya. That's how strong she is. She took initiation from him. She tried to even tackle him, but in trying to tackle him, he was so powerful. His holy name chanting was so powerful. She became a devotee. And reading books, by studying, like we can see in the case of Parikshit Maharaj. He heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadev Goswami, went right back to Godhead. Next life, back to Godhead, straight back to Godhead. What a powerful result just by reading, hearing like that. Taking prasadam. Prabhupada said you can eat your way back to Godhead. You can eat prasad and eat your way back to Godhead. I mean, how much more relishable a process you're going to find than that? So, dancing in front of the devotees, you can dance your way back to Godhead. Lord Chaitanya even says that at one place. Whoever dances in front of my deity will go back to Godhead. So, such simple processes, right? And finally, the one that excites most of the acharyas most is if we try to encourage others to do these things. It's just like, imagine you found a lot of gold in your backyard and you realize there's a whole vein of gold going here. And all we have to do is dig into the ground and pick up the gold. You realize that the next door neighbor, the gold is also going through his yard, right? So letting him know that there's gold in your yard, just have to dig, you can pick up as much gold as you want. How happy he will become with you? You'll be the happiest person and he'll feel you are the best person in creation. But if you are cruel, you might decide, no, let me buy his house out, let me buy all the neighbors' house out. Don't tell them. Buy it out and then dig all that gold. That would be cruel. Devotees are not like that. Devotees are not like, okay, I am understanding Krishna and I'm looking forward to going back to God and I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to go back and everybody can just suffer here. No. Devotee never thinks like that. Devotee thinks, let others go. Because we are the children of the children of the children, many times removed, like 80 generations away from Prahlad Maharaj. This is Prahlad Maharaj's prayer when he was asked, by Lord Nityananda, please, you can go back to Godhead. He said, no, Lord, I don't want to go to Godhead until all these fools in this world go back to Godhead. I'll remain here and I'll preach so that all of them can qualify to go back to Godhead. That was his mood. What a powerful mood like that. We are in that group. This is the type of people that we are following in our lives. So these are simple processes. All of these are simple. Just be encouraging to anybody. You don't have to know the science perfectly. Just encourage them by your smile, by giving them some prasadam, by introducing them to some person who might be able to answer their questions, do some counseling like that helps them understand. It makes their life better and stronger. This is our process. So this is what Krishna is saying. It's a simple process. Whatever you do, one of these processes you pick up on. And there are other things as well, by the way, going out, doing kirtan on the streets, and doing this japa marathon, japathons, and things like that. Listening to this type of a program we're just doing right now, asking questions and feeling good about the fact that we're learning something that is worthwhile because Krishna is the best. This is why Prabhupada said you should say Hare Krishna when you meet somebody, because it means may you have Krishna. Krishna is the best of the best. We are looking for a few pieces of gold, and Krishna is the whole gold mine. All the pieces of gold are inside there. So why not give somebody the whole gold mine instead of giving them a few pieces of gold like that? That's the process of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. This is chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita. Please, if you have any questions, you'd like to say something, please do so. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Devotees can unmute yourself and.
Was the sound much clearer today? I just wanted to
much better. Thank you so much for the mic, special mic. I think everybody today I did not see even one complaint, so I guess everybody's happy.
That's nice. If everybody's happy, I get a lot of benefit from that, because when you make somebody happy, Krishna really blesses you.
Yeah.
Our purpose is to make people happy. To be happy and to give happiness to others is described as the purpose of life. To love and be loved, to serve and be served, to be Krishna conscious and help others, serve others in their Krishna consciousness is actually the purpose.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looks like with the extended shutdown in Dallas, we can start Bhagavatam after this.
Yeah. Right now they're saying May 20th. Well, I've heard, because we, those of us who are faith leaders, we are keeping in touch with the mayor and with the person who's looking after the county, the judge who's looking after the county, and talking to them. Sounds like this is going to go till June, not just May. They're saying May right now, but it may go up till June. So this is going to be a fairly long shutdown.
So hopefully devotees can take advantage of this and cover
absolutely.
more Srila Prabhupada books.
Nice.
So we open the floor for questions.
So a lot of love, because
and ask.
Each of us may need some help and things like that. So we can help each other like that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu, I cut.
No, my mistake.
You were saying, no, not your mistake at all. What were you saying, Prabhu?
I was saying devotees are welcome to unmute themselves and ask questions if they have any questions. Or they can post in the chat box also. We'll get verified.
Okay.
So there's one question. I asked in the chat box, Hare Krishna, everyone, welcome. Please share if 8 p.m. is good for everyone. And so please kindly post. And I want to ask Nityananda Prabhuji also that if it is okay for him, 8 p.m., which is more convenient.
Yeah, both of them are convenient for me because I also get up early in the morning. But 8 p.m. I think might bring us new people who might find it early, getting up early, and some people start work very early in the morning, around 7, 8 o'clock, and for them it'll be hard to come online if.
Yes, that's what we were thinking.
Works better for them in that way. Of course, some people work late in the night, so you can't say both ways. But seems like this thing is a good idea. It's nice. I said.
Night. Okay, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji said, Hare Krishna, 8 p.m. is fantastic schedule. Allows us to wrap up office and attentively attain daily Bhagavad Gita nectar. And then he has a question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the class. What does Krishna meant by meditate on my transcendental form?
Very good question. Very good question. Why does he use the word transcendental? Why doesn't he just say meditate on my form? Why transcendental form? Because transcendental form includes all the different ways you can see Krishna. So it's a little like how in this world we sometimes say to have a 360-degree understanding of something, right? 360-degree means all the different ways you can understand something is called the 360-degree understanding. Now, if you can think of transcendental as going past 360, not just the 360, but past it. So basically, in any way, when you think of Krishna, whether it is his knowledge through the books, through his thinking of the books, thinking of the devotees, reading the books, eating prasadam, doing kirtan, or just even thinking about him in your heart, thinking about, oh Krishna, I heard that you're very beautiful. I wonder what that really means. How really beautiful. One day I would really like to see your beauty. And right now I'm seeing your beauty in the form of the deity at the temple, or the nice pictures, the paintings that are out there, and sometimes movies out there, and it shows Krishna in the movie. And I'm seeing that, I'm attracted by that. I want to see your full beauty. I look forward to seeing your full beauty. And so things like that. And then you see, like right now, you have this photo of this wonderful temple that's behind that, right? It's called the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium. Look at how beautiful the temple looks, right? It looks like a what do you call it? The sapphire, blue sapphire, sitting on the ground and contrasting with the sky with the wonderful colors, and all these people standing in front of it, looking forward to one day it opening so that we can actually all go in there and worship the Lord like this. So, this is beauty, right? So we can, through this beauty, we can see Krishna, because Krishna is manifesting his beauty through these different forms. So what does it mean through the transcendental form? It means the many different ways Krishna appears. He comes in the form of the holy name, he comes in the form of his pastimes, he comes in the form of his devotees, his paraphernalia, the world. If you see something in the world looks very beautiful, you can think, oh, this is a spark of Krishna's splendor. Krishna is so beautiful, here's a spark of his beauty, like that. So how nice is that, right? That would be really nice. So then, Krishna will say, okay, you're seeing me through these ways, and I'm showing you through these ways. So you're having darshan of me. Now, you'll feel attracted to come closer. The closer we get, the more we get to see, like that. And then?
Hare Krishna Babaji, there is another question from Shraddha Mataji. It is beautiful to realize that greeting everyone Hare Krishna, you are giving Krishna himself to them. I say this to only our community and feel shy of saying this to everyone else. That beautiful statement changed my perspective, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yeah, when I first heard about it, so I, on my telephone, when I'd answer the telephone, every time I would say Hare Krishna, just so that I'm thinking I'm giving Krishna, right? So one time, the bank manager called me and I said, Hare Krishna, and the bank manager said, what did you just say? Because he couldn't understand. He is an American person, he couldn't understand what I was saying. So I said, I'm really sorry. I just because I say this to everybody, I just said it without, really thinking about it. But actually, basically what it means is that may you have the best of the best, the very best of the best. And the very best of the best is God himself. Who better than God to have with you so that you can do anything and everything you want in your life? He said, wow, that sounds so nice. So Hare Krishna to you too. He said. I said, wow, that's very good. He said, Hare Krishna. So I got a blessing from the bank manager.
Jai.
Whoever we get blessing from, we get a blessing from a dog. That blessing is valuable because they're all children of Krishna. You know what I'm saying? And of course, this bank manager is not a dog. He's such a great person, right? He's a bank manager.
Mm-hmm.
People worship their bank manager. I know in India, people even take photographs of the bank manager and put a tick on it and worship before they go and meet the bank manager so that they can get the loan or whatever else they want,
Yep.
So like that.
Actually, I tried to say Hare Krishna to almost, I try to say to 90% of the people I meet, but I can confidently say, definitely I say Hare Krishna to 65% to 70% people, and most of them don't. And now it's become a habit, especially in my business community and all. Anybody calls me, first thing they say Hare Krishna. Even Muslim, even my builder is a Muslim, he calls me Hare Krishna all the time. My attorney is a Muslim, he calls me Hare Krishna all the time. So they themselves first tell Hare Krishna. It became a habit.
By saying Hare Krishna, if a Muslim says Hare Krishna, he's saying to you the same thing as they say, what do they say? They say, Assalamu alaikum, right? Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
So may you have God. That is basically what they're saying to you. May you be God conscious. And you say, and alaikum salam, you say the same thing back again, right? So you tell them it's the same thing. We're just saying Hare Krishna, it's the same thing as saying what you are saying, but we're saying it like this. So then they will think, oh, this is very nice. Now I'm saying it, I feel even better about it. that now I understand why I'm saying it, makes it feel better, you know.
Yep.
Krishna, I tell them it's Christ, you know. Krishna is Christ. We say Hare Krishna, you're saying to them, Christ is the greatest. May you have the Lord Jesus Christ with you. May Jesus Christ always be with you. And like they say in English, may God be with you, you know, like that. So this is the same thing. This is the same thing.
I usually say that I like to give the best gift. Hare Krishna is the best gift. And when you tell me Hare Krishna, you are giving me the best gift in return too.
And that's love, right? Loving exchange, they say there are 6 things. To give gifts and to receive gifts is part of loving exchange. To
That's
give
right.
food, prasadam, and then receive prasadam is loving. And to speak confidentially to a person and hear confidentially from them so that you can show each other care and affection.
Yeah.
It's full 6 exchanges of love. This is what is called love.
Yep. Thank you, Babaji.
Very good, very good.
So Rameshwar Mohandas Prabhuji and Sita Priti Mataji, I asked for the timing. So he says, Hare Krishna Babaji, morning is good for them. And I had an earlier conversation with her also that she was saying there are some devotees trying to join from East Coast. So she was a little concerned about them. 8 p.m. is better for me too, if everyone is convinced. This is what my comment was. And then one more devotee says 8 p.m. is fine. Vinu Mataji, I think, or Vinu Prabhu. Divya Namadas, 8 p.m. is better for us. I don't see that. Divya Mataji and Vinu. Superb class, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
And Ganpati Krishna Das Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, evening are good, Prabhuji. No conflict with material work meetings. And Sita Mataji replied, okay, Prabhuji, if all are okay, no worries. More the better, Prabhuji. But Friday is a conflict, Friday evening. I think Friday is because of the Bhakti Vrikshas.
Yes.
Conflict.
So then the recording is there, no? So they can hear the recording. Because
Yes.
also some people can't be there every day, you know.
And we were working today, me and Madhav Vajranath Prabhu, and we figured out a way that we can, go live on Facebook also, so they can see you and hear the whole recording. All this time we were seeing only audio, but now they can see video also, so we can share the Facebook link.
That'll be very nice.
Yeah.
That'll be
And Chandrasekhar Prabhuji, thank you for joining, Prabhu. His question is how to hold on to our focus on Krishna consciousness as the entire world is suffering from the virus issues. How do we overcome the fear
that's true.
and keep focusing on Krishna consciousness?
So even the fear, if you have fear, you connect the fear to Krishna. Just like, say, for example, the residents of Vrindavan, they became fearful when the demons would attack them, right? They would become fearful. And then Krishna would save them by killing the demon, and they'll be so happy, they'll celebrate, and then, they'll praise Krishna like that. So when we become fearful, we should think how the Vrindavan Vasis also become fearful when the demons are attacking, and how Krishna comes and saves them. And we look forward to Krishna coming and saving us as well. In different ways, Krishna will save us. So everything in our life, we can connect it to Krishna. Even frustration, anger, you can connect to anger. You think about, how Hanuman burnt the whole of Lanka down, right? I mean, by his anger, he got so angry. So Arjuna, he won the war by Battle of Kurukshetra with his anger. So, we can see, we become angry, then we see, okay, that anger, how these people became angry. Now, that doesn't justify our anger, but what it is, it connects it. So you try to connect, and then our anger will come down because we can see their anger created good result. Our anger is not creating good result. So let's give up the anger that is not creating good result and take the anger that is creating good result. And it's natural to be angry, natural to be frustrated, natural to have all the emotions. There are actually 33 major emotions in the spiritual world. And that includes, becoming very fearful, becoming shocked, becoming, very depressed, this type of thing. They're all there in the Vyabhicharis. They're called Vyabhicharis. And all of these Vyabhicharis increase love for Krishna. So how do we connect them? We can study in the Nectar of Devotion, these ones are given. So we can, can read Nectar of Devotion and see how they all connected to Krishna. And so everything we do is somehow connected to Krishna. Anything we do, we connect to Krishna. We see that work, we see the table, and we think the table is made of material energy. The material energy is Krishna's energy. So immediately you connected it to Krishna. Now look after that nicely, the table nicely. Just because it's not your table, it's the boss's table, doesn't mean you can do anything you want to the table. You think, no, it is also Krishna's energy. If I look after it nicely, then obviously Krishna will become happy with me. So everything is taken care of nicely in the house, outside, somebody else's property. Everything is taken care of very nicely. If you're on the street, we understand this is all Krishna's energy, and if you see some rubbish there, you might pick it up and put it in a rubbish bin. Krishna appreciates that. You're keeping it clean, right? They say cleanliness is godliness. Sometimes they're saying in English, cleanliness is next to godliness. But Prabhupada said cleanliness is godliness. So keep clean, this type of thing. So cleanliness helps also with the virus, right? They say if the virus, we stay clean, less chance the virus will attack us. That's why they say, use bleach and everything to clean nicely. So just everything connected to Krishna. Then your focus will always be Krishna. Total focus, like that. Looks like somebody's putting their hand up, right? Now they're saying, nice. Thank you. Putting a thumbs up.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I was mute. I was testing. There's an option to put thumbs up and to namaste, so devotees can interact. If they really like something, they can give thumbs up, and they really appreciate something, they can put namaste. So I was just trying that. There are some reactions. There's a place where you see reactions, and you can put thumbs up or namaste.
Nice, very nice.
Haribol. So, any other questions?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, this is Sakshi Gaurang,
yes,
Prabhu
Hare
from
Krishna,
Australia.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one question, so it's very easy. I mean, this is my personal experience. It's very easy to, when the conditions are favorable to do bhakti and all that, but when conditions are not favorable, it becomes very difficult, right? So how do you overcome those unfavorable conditions, to dovetail towards Krishna? I mean, it relates to what you said earlier about the fear, but if there are ways we could, dovetail towards Krishna in unfavorable situation, what should we do? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. It's a wonderful question. Very nice question. So when you have negative situations arising in our life, we can actually allow ourselves to feel the emotion, whatever emotion is. Like, say, for example, something really bad is happening, it makes you really sad. So be sad. Not that we don't think, I'm not going to be sad, because that's not being devotee. Devotee means no matter how bad it gets, I always think about Krishna and I'm fine. No, you must feel sad. That is natural. Bahir lok vyar. So externally you become sad. You see what I'm saying? And then in the sadness, you can do a number of things. One is you can think to yourself, man, it would be so much nicer if I was with Krishna, then I have to face all this nonsense. Or you can even ask Krishna the question, why are you making me sad, Krishna? What did I do? Why are you treating me like this? You can also talk to Krishna. Krishna likes that, by the way. He likes us to be questioning him, That's why he likes Radharani more than he likes Chandravali. He loves both of them. But Radharani has a special place in his heart. Why? Because she always questions him. Anytime she has a problem, she'll say, why? What's wrong? Why do I have to feel this? Why are you doing this to me? Like that. And Chandravali will never do that. She'll be, whatever Krishna does, I'm happy. No matter how bad it gets, I'm still happy. I'll always love Krishna, never blame Krishna. I'll think, my fault, I will suffer it, like that. Radharani won't just suffer it. She will actually give it back to Krishna a little too, you see what I'm saying? So be normal, be a natural person. However you feel, express your feelings to Krishna. Show to Krishna, I'm sad, Krishna, I'm really sad. I don't like this at all. You know what I'm saying? Now, you may not chastise him. And if you want to chastise him, do it naturally. Just like, you meet a real friend, a friend does something that you didn't like, then, you might say a little to the friend, right? Not just let it go like that. So these are ways to actually stay in contact with Krishna. And then we understand, Radharani says that whenever sometime difficulty happens, you should know. That is to allow us to really understand when the happiness happens, how great happiness is. Because if there was no difficulty, happiness will not feel like happiness. It has to contrast something, right? Just like Right now I'm seeing the screen, it says Sanjay's iPhone. And, so it's on a black background. If it was on a white background, I would not be able to read it. I would know that it says Sanjay's iPhone. It's on a black background, so I can see it very clearly, Sanjay's iPhone. Even though I don't have very good eyes myself. Eyes are not very good, because with the glasses it's a lot better. But the point is that, and sometimes Krishna, really surprises me that even without the glasses, I can read it very nicely. So I tell Krishna, I know you're doing that to me. You're playing games with my eyes. That's okay. That's all right. You can play games. And when so sometimes I talk like that to Krishna. That's because I have a personal relationship. It's a natural relationship. It's not, Krishna doesn't like awe and reverence. He's not into awe and reverence. That's Narayan. That's Vishnu. Then we have to be, your word is very nice. Put your hand together and speak very nicely. Don't say anything that might feel a little hurtful like that. With Krishna, it's like personal relationship, very, very personal. It's like with your best friend, like that. Krishna likes that. He really likes that. And we do that naturally. We don't artificially do that. But naturally we come to that position. So these difficulties that we face in our lives, it's like we're going through a real difficulty right now. Nobody knows when it's going to open up again. Will we have our job? How things are going to, the economy may crash, and then we lose our jobs. What will happen? Worry, right? Happens, naturally, happens to us. But this is the value of devotee association. That because we're in the association of devotees, some devotees or other will figure out what we have to do, and things will work out. This is one of the that we're like one big family. We will take care of one another. Currently also in Dallas, a lot of people are worrying and they're saying to me, what will happen? The sky is falling, and they're devotees who are saying that to me. I tell them, no, don't worry, we are here. There are others here. They're very strong people, smart people, very powerful, very wealthy. There's a lot of money in the bank, whatever. And, great strength in different ways. They're nice doctors, they're nice attorneys, they're nice whatever. And they're within our circle. So, we'll figure it out. And Krishna will just give us some situation so that we can figure it out. But we will figure it out. And things will go on. Won't be the end of the world. It will work out. So, we should actually just stay in contact and keep talking. If you have a problem, pick up the phone, talk to me. Then I can say some things, and at least you'll know there's somebody who cares, somebody's thinking about you. And if there is a real problem, like you're not getting food, we'll make the arrangement so that you get your food. You won't go hungry or anything like that. We're there. We're there. Some way or the other, we'll make it happen. That's the power of being devotees of Krishna, that we figure it out somehow or the other. We'll figure it out. May not be easy, but we will figure it out. I'm not challenging Mother Nature, or I'm challenging, Maya, and saying, bring it on. No, I'm not doing that at all. I don't. I have no power actually to fight with Maya. But if she brings it on without me asking, then in Bhagavad Gita it is said, fortunate are those to whom a battle comes unsought. So she wanted a fight, we'll relish the fight. In the meantime, we might get a little hurt in the process, this, that. That is okay. That's okay. That's just part of life. It's going to happen anyway, right? I mean, say when this virus was not around, people didn't have accidents. They didn't die. They didn't get sick. Bad things didn't happen. Of course it happened. The nature of the world is it's going to be dukhalaya. You know what I mean? So not that, that not we worry, now the world is dukhalaya. No, it's dukhalaya, but you can do something inside dukhalaya that will make it fine. Just like, think about the ocean, right? The ocean is full of water and you don't want to get wet and you're inside the ocean. How can you enjoy that ocean? You can learn to swim, you can learn to float, you can build a nice boat and, travel across the ocean and carry goods from this side to that side and make millions and billions of dollars and find underwater submarines and, go snorkeling, and people enjoy the ocean big time. They find a way, even though the ocean has nothing to do with their life. Their life is on the land, and yet in the ocean they're also having a great time in their life. They don't stay all the time, but they do enjoy it while they're there. See what I'm saying? So difficulties don't come all the time and stay all the time. They're like the changing of the seasons. So they come for a season and they'll go away and another season will come. So, this will go on for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever. And then, after that, it'll open up again. And then it'll again happen maybe, because they say there may be a second round. And then things will again be there. And then again, it'll go away. And then this time may go away in a way that it's not a big problem because now they've found the vaccinations, they have found the the remedy when you get it so that you can get well. Just like with normal flu, people normally don't worry about flu so much, right? Why? Because there's vaccinations for it, there's a treatment for it. You know when you got it. Here, you don't even know when you got it because a lot of people are asymptomatic, what they call asymptomatic. That's very bothersome because you don't know whether you got it. You're giving it to someone else and you're also getting into trouble like that. So these things are bothering us. But what gives us strength? Prabhupada said, a bundle of sticks cannot be broken. One stick can be broken, bundle cannot be broken. Bundle up. Bundle up. Be there for one another. Let's all be there for one another. It will work out. And some of us may leave our bodies. Well, devotees leave their bodies all the time anyway. It's not like they leave their body. They'll be very fortunate. Those who stay back may not be fortunate, but those who leave are going to be very fortunate. Because as Krishna's promise. And Krishna knows this is a demon that's attacking. He's also going to attack the demon. And that's why, as Sarvajaya Madhava Prabhu almost every day says, please chant more. Please join these japa sessions and kirtan sessions and do it in your home and chant more and read more. And this is all kirtan, right? So this is the process. But thank you for that wonderful question.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome.
Next question is from Ganapati
Hare
Krishna Das
Thank you for
Prabhuji.
being such a wonderful.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I'm Ganapati Krishnadas. So, Prabhuji, these classes are really amazing. So, whenever we come to a temple, it's very hard to talk to you because there will be hundreds of people. Now it's like face to face, like you said, Krishna is talking to all his friends. Everybody feels the same way. They're talking to only to them. This Zoom, very thankful to Sarvajaya Madhava Prabhu. He arranged this one. I can see you. It's like a personal talk. Thank you so much for that. Prabhuji, my question is, the other day you mentioned like we have this Varnashrama Dharma, right? Like we have 4 Varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. You mentioned you call the English name as caste system, right? So, but in India, right, within each of these different castes, right, there are subcastes, so many, right? I'm trying to understand whenever you say Brahmana Varna, and also there's a Brahmana caste also there in India. And within the Brahmin, there are Smarta Brahmins, there's so many other varieties, right? So, could you please make me understand what's the difference between the Varnashrama caste and the material caste which we are talking in India?
Looks like Nityananda Prabhu's screen is freezed. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you want to rejoin? Let me call him. Internet. Yeah, he's back. No, maybe he'll join back. Just let's wait for a minute. Yes, he's back. 1 second, Prabhuji, I'll unmute you.
I don't think you should.
Can you hear me?
Just a second.
Nityananda, your screen is freezing somehow. Let me make a phone call.
Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji, where are you? Yes, yeah. Okay. Can you hear?
Hello?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hello?
Prabhuji, your video is not clear and static, and your video kept freezing. Haribol?
For some reason, we're losing the connection.
I know.
It could be the internet in this area.
Now we heard you clear, but then it again froze. You want to restart one time, Prabhuji? Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, you can restart the computer maybe. Or shut down and join back.
Chalo, leave.
Just if he comes back, just thank him for that.
I can hear. It was Atul and Ritika.
Material issues, technical issues. Looks like now he's back.
Prabhu, Sarvajay Prabhu, tomorrow we have class?
Yes,
Evening?
yeah, we have class. Can someone text Prabhuji the phone number where we can dial in?
Prabhuji, that contact we shared, that would be good if Prabhuji connect that.
Yeah, share with him. Just text him and put it in the chat box. I'll request him to dial in. Meantime, if anybody would like to share something about
Yeah,
the
Hare Krishna, Sarvajay Madhu Prabhu.
Some
First of
reason
all,
connections.
Yes, Prabhuji.
thank you for initiating these wonderful classes. I think it's given meaning to everyone's life. I would suggest we can perhaps continue tomorrow because it's been a long day also for Nityananda Prabhu, and we seem to be losing some people. So, but your choice. I'm here. We're available. I just wanted to thank you and Nityananda Prabhu for these. I think it's a universal sentiment, adding meaning to everyone's lives.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and that's a great suggestion. And trust me, I am thankful to all of you because this is a great service I'm getting. I'm somehow engaged with devotees, able to do some service in these tough times. So I'm grateful to each and every devotee for giving us this service. I have my team, Madhav Rajnath Prabhu, and few other people who are helping in the background. So from all of us, thanks to all of you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nityananda Prabhuji, are you back? If
I did share the number, but Prabhuji didn't saw the message.
let's do this. Let's keep this question.
I'm back right now. Yeah.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hari Bol. I think we should just chant Narsimha prayer. But let's do this. Somebody can copy these questions and comments. I can also do it actually. And then we'll ask this tomorrow so that we don't lose these wonderful questions and suggestions.
Yeah, I'm copying as well, so you can continue with the Narasimha prayer.
Let me just tell Nityananda Prabhuji that we are doing this. We are going to override him. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you hear me? Hare Krishna.
Oh. I think I gave the wrong number also because that was for the different conference. Since we changed the conference number.
Madhurajana Prabhu, just text the number.
I did that, but seems like that number was for the different conference, the one we used to have it before.
Prabhuji, there is some issue with the number. So I want you to stay on the phone and I'll put you on the speaker and you can conclude today's meeting. And what we are doing is, Atul Prabhu has given a suggestion that some devotees have already left. So we can continue this tomorrow. Some questions, some comments. And we can do the Narsimha prayer. You can start the prayers. And I'll tell everybody to turn on their videos so we can see each other. And please start the prayers, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya.
Praladaladayi.
Praladaladayi.
Hiranyakashi Purvaksaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho. Yato yato yami tato Narsimho.
Yato yato yami tato Narsimha.
Ahi Narsimha Hidaye Narsimha.
Bahe Narsimha,
Hridaye Narsimha. Narasimhamadin Sharanam Prapadye.
Narasimhamadin
Sharanam Prapadye.
Dalita Yanakashipo Tanulinga Kesharadita Naraharita Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Kamalapare Nata Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanuvringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jagadish Hare Jagadish Hare Narahari Rupa Jagadish Hare Jagadish Hare Jagadish Hare
Kesavadrita Narahari Rupa
Jagadish
Jagadish
Hare.
Jai
Jagadish Hare
Jaya Jagadish Hare.
Jaya Ananta Shesh Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Shesh
Jaya Narasimha Jaya Ananta Shesh Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Shesh Vigna Vinash Jaya Narasimha Dev Vigna Vinash Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya
Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj.
Jaya
Narahari, 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 Jaya Narahari.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva.
2 years college assistant principal sir. Health conditions
Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Everybody is unmute. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You can say whatever you like to say to each other and you can take rest. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu, for organizing the event.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You can say to other devotees, please.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
No,
you
no,
so
you're
much,
doing.
Nityananda Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for both of you, Prabhu.
Dandavat. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna to
Prabhu.
all.
Hare Krishna. Please kindly join tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30, 12 a.m. There's a Japathon. Tomorrow is Ekadashi. So hopefully we all can chant few rounds. We need your association and please share this. And day after tomorrow is going to be huge marathon. Thousands of people hopefully will join all from all over the world. And His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, Guru Maharaj today announced about this program also, about how chanting, Prabhupada really wanted the whole world to chant. And this is the time we need to activate this chanting, worldwide chanting. So if you can all join tomorrow, that would be really great. We want Dallas power tomorrow in the group. So your chanting, your purity will really help. So please kindly join tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. to 12, anytime you like. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.